Welcome to the Woo and Do podcast, where we focus on business and manifestation for the entrepreneurial woman who doesn't talk about it, they be about it. This is your frequency shift to help you create the business and the life of your dreams by shifting your energy and making moves. This is episode 9, and I know you've been waiting all week for it. This is how to make this year your $250,000 year. I am really excited about this because this is how you're going to go from a six-figure year to a multi-six-figure year. This is going to help you grow your business, and I'm breaking down all of the details about having a multi six figure year. Now, if you haven't listened to episode 8, go check it out. It talks about the basics of a six-figure year. And even if you've already created a six-figure year before, still it is important for you to listen to that episode because there are some foundations that you may be missing. And it's the kind of foundations that are necessary to create a business that is going to support you and your feminine and energy and that it won't drain you. I am so excited for you to have a business that is for the whole woman, not the exhausted and overworked one. This is not for also entitled bitches that think that they don't want to work. Nope. We're talking about masculine and feminine energetic harmony, the woo plus the do. That's why I call this podcast the Woo and the Do podcast. Okay, in this episode, I'm going to talk about why I'm moving away from month to month focus, why this is going to help you, and then we're going to talk about the 7 things you need to focus on to go from six figures to multi six figures. Now that you have the basics and you're moving from the 2,000, $3,000 months to $21,000 months. Let me tell you why I'm focusing on a year. We are going to focus on $250,000 year versus talking about $20,000 months. The reason why is because one, it's going to give you more of a long-term vision, more of a future casting way of looking at your business. It's also going to stop you from being upset because you just went from $2,000 or $3,000 months to $15,000 months, but you're mad because you're not at $20,000 months. So that means you're not on track for the $250,000 year, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. It doesn't matter. Yes, $20,000 months would be great, and you're going to get there. But that doesn't mean, like, let's say your January was a $10,000 month. That does not mean that you're not going to have a $250,000 year. You could have a $10,000 month, an $11,000 month, another $5,000 month, and then you could have a $100,000 month and totally be way closer to $250,000 at the end of the year. It's if you start to look at it from a more long term focus. If you say, I know that I'm going to have a $250,000 cash received a year or more, right? Because it's this or something greater. And that's the way I'm building my business. And I'm going to do these 7 things that Christine is talking about. That's going to help me and make sure that I'm in the right space and doing all the things. Then I am going to um, allow myself the space and grace to have the months that are not necessarily equal to trending to 12 months that's going to equal to 250,000. In fact, you're allowing yourself to continually grow and be giving yourself space and grace to be excited for the things that are unfolding. Okay? So, first, before I discuss how you're going to have this $250,000 or more year, let me tell you who you are. You have clarity about who you're working with. You know who you're speaking to. You know your genius. You have proof of concept, means that people are buying from you consistently. You know your offers. You've gotten your content together. And I'll talk more about content and how to speak directly to that person. And you are doing all of the mindset work and working on your identity. Okay, because remember, aligned millionaires are ones that are from the inside and the outside. We're not just looking to make people that are making money and they're miserable. That's not what we're about here. No. Aligned soul means that you're living your best life. So, this is describing who you are. Okay. We talked about why we're moving away from a month to month focus and why that helps you. So, now let's talk about the 7 things you need to focus on to move from those 6 figures to the multi 6 figures. Number one, your leadership. You gotta make sure your leadership is on point, which means that you aren't relating to your clients as friends or from a relatable standpoint. You're really coming from a more powerful, decisive, and confidence. Your confidence is next level. You're not trying to say, you're not focused on being friendly. And don't get me wrong, I'm friendly. I love my clients. They love me. We have fun together. But in my content, I am not validating any kind of limitations. I'm not going to say, yeah, you're right. It's so hard, blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. I'm coming from a standpoint of I know you desire this. This desire gets to be yours, and this is how you do it. I'm not going to coddle them in limitations. I always ask my clients, are you fighting for your limitations or are you fighting for this dream? Are you moving forward towards it, or are you going to argue to me about why you can't have it? And the more you argue about why you can't have it, is the more you're going to stay in 6 figures or less. Your leadership, which means leading yourself and leading your clients, is key. And in order to have clean, squeaky clean, good, powerful, decisive, confident leadership, you need to do number 2, clean energy leaks. Energy leaks looks like anything that you're tolerating, things that you're doing in your business that you know would be much better done by an assistant or someone who can support you. Energy leaks could be people that you're surrounding yourself by that have beliefs and are leading, conversations that are totally not aligned with conversations you desire to have. Maybe it's conversations about the recession, how life is so hard, how blah, blah, blah. Yep, yep, get out of those conversations. You can love on the people, you can be there to support them, and you do not have to spend all of your time around that. Remember, who you surround yourself with plays a huge role in your success level. All right, so we're talking about your leadership. We talked about energy leaks. Number 3, your offer suite now needs to be on point. And I know we talked about offer suite when we were talking about 6 figure year. This is when it gets to be super important, which means that you have got core, high, mid, and low ticket offers. This is when you start scaling your mid ticket offer. This is when your mid ticket offer, you're going to start having, the multiples, the 50, 100, 200 people in this offer, because not only have you grown your audience and you have established your leadership, you've cleared your energy leaks, you now know how to hold space and you know the benefits of your offers. And as you are scaling these offers, as you are scaling your mid and low ticket offers, you are amping up number 4, your monthly recurring revenue. MRR is everything. And when you're going from your, $3,000 months or whatever to $20,000 months, a lot of that gets to be monthly recurring revenue. It is very important now for you to start amping up this monthly recurring revenue, because that is what's going to get you to the next 2 podcasts, which are the $500,000 a month and the million plus plus plus. Because monthly recurring revenue is one. Oh, it's a game changer. I need to do a whole podcast on the difference between, like, there's masculine money and then there's this feminine magic money. And when you know that your quote unquote needs are taken care of, it is so easy to start to receive large dollar amounts on top of large dollar amounts on top of large dollar amounts because you don't need the money. You're really focused on the desire piece. And I'll talk about that more, but that's where monthly recurring revenue makes such a difference. And it starts to build on top of each other and on top of each other. So let's say you have a mid ticket offer for figures. Maybe it's a $2,000 group program. So your $2,000 group program, maybe it's a 2 month program or whatever, and you have a 3 or 4 payment plan, right? 3 or 4 month payment plan. You have this 3 or 4 month payment plan, which means that once your program is over, you still are being paid for this program, 2 or 3 more months. In addition to that, you've been selling your next offer, which stacks on top of that. And then the following offer stacks on top of that. Do you see how then you have your high ticket offer, which is probably a mastermind, or maybe you also, in addition to that, have one to one. And so you have a payment plan, like a 6 month one to one with a 6 month payment plan. Those are stacking on top of each other. And you have your high level mastermind. Like for me, I have a mastermind which is based on, there's a base amount, and then on top of the base amount there is a revenue share piece. Because I know when you get into my mastermind, you are about to make a shit ton of money because of what the work we are doing there. And so the base level of the mastermind is very low. It's $1,111 at the time of this recording. And then on top of that, I have clients that are going to go to 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 months, and they're paying me a percentage of that because that work that we're doing is what's bringing them income on top of that income on top of that income, and it keeps rising. And so for my high ticket offer, which is my mastermind, the earnings potential, of course, is unlimited, but it's also, I've created a consistent monthly payment amount that is guaranteed over the year that the people are part of the mastermind. So you're picking up what putting down. Okay. So do you see how, like, amping up your monthly recurring revenue builds on top of builds on top of builds on top of builds? This is why it's important. And this is why it gets you to the 500,000 and the $1 million months and more. Okay. Number 5, you are intentionally doing things that scare you, which means the hard stuff. You are being brave. You are being so courageous, next level. And that means that you go to be uncomfortable. And if you know me, you've heard what I said before. Quantum leaps happen in the unknown and unexpected, which means that you cannot stay comfortable and leap. This is why it is necessary for you to get comfortable feeling uncomfortable. When you are doing things that you've never done before, it feels uncomfortable. And you have never done a multi six figure or blah, 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 blah in your own business. And so that is going to feel uncomfortable. And there are going to be things that quote unquote scare you. That means that that's the direction that you need to go. That means that that is something that you get to explore. That means that is something that you move through. I talked all about fear and how to make it your biatch in episode 5. So if you have questions about fear, go look at it. Okay. All right. Let's talk about number 6. So, number 5, I talked about you're intentionally doing things that scare you, moving yourself out of your comfort zone. This is why you do number 6. Number 6 is investing in support that will help you. I mean, get it with a high level mentor who knows what to do, who can push you outside of your comfort zone, getting yourself in a high level mastermind with people that are doing what you desire or has done what you desire and greatly more, where it becomes a norm for you to be around people talking about these big numbers, who talking about large audiences, talking about, making moves that scare them. When you are around and surround yourself around a mentor and in a mastermind of people that are doing these type of things, it becomes your norm. It becomes what I call hashtag of course, because it is something that isn't outside of your comfort zone. It's not anything that will scare you anymore. And it's something that's just like, well, of course I'm doing this. Of course this is natural. And then you start to push yourself beyond that. It is necessary for you to receive support. Am I saying you can't get to these type of numbers or can't be this successful without it? Of course not. You can do anything on your own. You don't hire support and mentors because you need them. You do it because you desire it. You desire to go faster. You desire to be surrounded by a group of people who are doing similar to you. You desire to have up leveled conversations, advanced conversations, elevated conversations that are really going to help you see things differently and do things outside of what you would normally do. That is why you invest in support, not because you need it, not because you can't do this on your own, but because you want to move faster. You don't want to make the same mistakes that you could have avoided if you've had a conversation with somebody first, and you do not want to stay stagnant and not sit in a blind spot that someone else would have pointed out to you in 2 seconds. The mastermind that I'm in, I've talked about it before. I shifted my intention from a $2.5 million year to being the $10 million woman because they reminded me about how someone who has the audience size that I have and the level of leadership that I'm bringing gets to be bigger, go bigger, and step in her brilliance. And I'm so glad that I surrounded myself around that group of women that were asking me why I was playing small when I was like, oh, this is huge. When other people who aren't making the money that I am currently making didn't even see that and thought my intention was huge to them. I needed to be in a room with people where that was small so that I could say, wow, let me come back and remember who the fuck I am. Okay. And then number 7, this is something that we often forget. We're going bigger. We're thinking we need to, grow our audience, get bigger and bigger and bigger, and focus on outside of what we already have. Nope. Number 7 is bringing you back to what's important. Serve the audience you have, serve them with all of your heart because that audience is the audience that's going to be walking with you through all of these income levels. That audience is the audience that is going to be down for the crown and supporting you through this, and you are here to serve. This is why you're here. Serve the audience that you have, support them, give them your all, love on them, because there are people that are in your audience who aren't buying from you now who will buy your highest package. There are people in your audience now who are ready to work with you that haven't said yes yet. There are people who already follow you and already love you, and you're on their vision board and they are now using what you have given in your podcast or your free, YouTube videos and in your free Facebook group. They're using that stuff. They're building their income and they're ready to pay you in full. Serve the audience you have. Speak to the ones in your audience who are already ready and already in love with you, and give them your all, because this is what is going to go move you from the 6 figures to the multi 6 figures. And it won't feel like you're pulling teeth and pushing hard to get it, because not only are you, of course, expanding your audience and doing podcasts and, new audience reach like TikTok and things like that. Of course, you're doing that. And you're loving on the people who are already there. All right. So good. Okay. If you are watching via Spotify, I want you to type in the question box below, I claim my $250,000 year. I also want you to not forget to share what topics about business and manifestation that you want me to riff about. You can email me at wooandthedo@annahobb.com. Include your email and your name and your Instagram handle so that I can tag you in the show notes when I do the episode and give you a shout out. Sign up for my free email series, The Frequency Shift. It will help you create the business and life of your dreams, shifting your energy and making moves. That link is in the show notes. Also, pick up my best selling book, The Aligned Receiver, and learn how to become the receiver who is no longer telling Sugar Daddy no. And last but not least, if you are ready to join the best manifestation and business money making group membership in the entire world, join the B Collective. You can find out more in the show notes. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review so that people can find this podcast. And go claim that $250,000 year. Hugs, kisses, all the feels. Don't forget to stop talking about it and be about it. Move and be her now.